Hey everybody, Dr. Eric Plasker here, and we're going to go through how to fill out these re-exam pads because it's valuable. What you're going to do is there are two where you write on one, and so you get a copy, they get a copy. Your copy, you could scan it later and put it in your file, or you can insert it in a folder if you're using a folder. But it's a great way to have people go home with this where they are now, where are they now in the process of this getting to lifestyle care. And so you'll notice on this, obviously it's a new look continuum. You got pictures that are much more connected to where people are. They're great, current, fresh pictures. You have the crisis care, critical transition, lifestyle care. The dots represent the frequency of visits. So remember, the goal of crisis care, it's frequent visits close together to get relief and stability in the spine and nervous system. The critical transition is staying consistent regardless of how you feel so the body can change. And then lifestyle care, the intensity of your lifestyle care will depend on the intensity of your lifestyle and the underlying condition of your spine and how well you do. And then so if your lifestyle is really intense, your lifestyle care will be more intense. If your lifestyle gets less intense, your lifestyle care will be less intense. Now, what I love about that conversation, CAs, what I want you to love about that conversation, doctors, what I want you to love about that conversation is you're going to say it 1,000 times, constantly. Which, by the way, it's better to say that 1,000 times than to say 1,000 things one time. Because if you are reinforcing the model and the consistency over and over and over again and anchoring back to it with consistency, then people will start to hear you and you will truly be an anchor for people's long-term well-being. I'm going to say this again. This is profound. It is better to say what I just said 1,000 times than to say 1,000 different things one time. You will get much more results. You will be a magnetic rock for the people in your community. They will trust that what you're saying is true, and they will stay true because they'll know that you mean what you say because you're anchored to your big idea. Now, what this area here is for you to make any notes that you want. If you're sitting down with them and you're asking them about their current condition, you can make notes about that. Then you can make additional notes about your future recommendations. You can circle any areas here, for example, organs, or make lines, draw lines on the spine that are posture lines that go angled up, down, and sideways. You can do whatever you want with the picture, which is a much cooler picture. It matches the one, we call this the IT guy. So when you draw on the IT guy, which is also now on the folder, which is why it all matches. Again, we shifted the look so it was a fresher look across the board. It's also on your posters, so everything matches, everything builds on everything. And so you draw things here, you make lines, you can make some notes in the margin, and then make the critical transition from crisis care to lifestyle care and enjoy the quality of life you deserve. So we are anchoring them right from day one, in the beginning, pre-day one, all the way through every re-exam to this process. And then, depending on where they are in the care, we're going to anchor them to this process with circles and writing it in. So for example, I'm going to go back to that conversation again, which, by the way, CAs, listen, this is really important. CAs, when a patient calls in, if they're right in the middle of crisis care and they feel better, but the doctor still wants to see them, you're going to say, listen, Mary, I'm so glad you're feeling better. I know that the doctor is also. Listen, remember right at the beginning, remember the doctor said the goal of crisis care was relief and stability. Well, you have relief, but you're not stable yet. That's why he wants to continue to see you at the current frequency. Oh, that's right, I remember, boom. Okay, done with that, that's over with. Again, do you see how we are constantly anchoring people to the conversation? The more that you are constantly anchoring people to the conversation, the more compliance you will get, the more referrals you will get, the more that you are out of the crap box, out of the mishmash, consistent. It's in all of the articles, it's in the newsletters, it's in the videos, it's in everything. It's on all of your walls, it's on your posters, it's all there. Perfectly aligned, matching. Now, let's look at how to fill this out, options on how to fill this out during different aspects of the care. So, and you're going to notice here that this is the look of what it actually looks like. when the next few pictures that I show you are going to be darker because I took pictures of them with my camera and uploaded them. Why? Because I wrote on them, and so the lighting wasn't as great as it is. This is the quality of what it actually looks like. It's very clean and fresh and a great take-home piece for people. They'll take it home, they'll put it in their folder, they'll show it to people, staple a couple of articles to it. You could even send them home with this along with the self-test and a health certificate to give to a family member and friend to capitalize on this re-exam experience, which is an amazing perk-up opportunity, and turn it into a new patient. So you notice the darkness. That's because of I took it with my phone, uploaded it for this recording, and so watch. Here's a person I circled right here. This is a person that's right in the middle of their crisis care. So I didn't write in any potential concerns that they may have. You can certainly write that in there. That's what the space is for. And so you'll write in, so you'll circle, Mary, you're right here, right in the middle of crisis care. Your inflammation is down, your mobility is increasing at these segments, which are the segments that were in question, that were subluxated. And because you're doing so well and right on target, we're going to continue it 3 times a week for the next 4 weeks. You're right on target to what we thought. The goal now is stability. You have relief, but you don't have stability yet. And then continue to do your exercises. We're going to continue to do whatever other secondary services or none, or if you're giving some or having some, continue to do your exercises, your rehab, your massage, etc. Continue to take this supplement. Maybe you want to consider a cleanse, etc. Whatever you're going to recommend here goes on this. And the idea is you're going to show them where they are in the process. You're going to either confirm that they're right where you thought they would be, or you're going to say, you know what, Mary, we thought that at this point that you would be right now, you would be have relief but not be stable. But you know what? You're doing amazing. You not only have the relief, but you're stable. We're going to change your care plan up here because you have stability much quicker than we thought. So exciting. Or you may say, you know what, Mary, you don't have the relief that we're looking for yet. You're making progress. You are far from stable. We're going to go another 4 weeks, but there's a chance down the road we may need to extend your crisis care out a little bit. We'll have to see. Some people that are in your place, they start to accelerate their stability. The inflammation goes down. They respond a lot quicker in the second month than they did in the first month. We'll just have to wait and see. The goal is to get relief and stability as your spine and nervous system stabilize, and then we'll talk about the critical transition down the road when we get there. So we're going to continue for another 3 times a week for the next 4 weeks. The goal again is stability. And then it's the same conversation. It's the same conversation. Now, what happens when somebody gets to the end of crisis care? All right, Mary, listen up. You're doing great. Your crisis care is now complete. You have relief and your spine is stable. Remember, the last couple of visits, we didn't need to adjust as many segments. In fact, there was one time last week, remember, we didn't even need to adjust it. We checked you. We double-checked you. Why? Because we wanted to make sure that you were getting stable. You are getting stable. You're right where we thought you would be. So you have relief and stability. So now, here's what we're going to do with this person. If they have already committed to everything, crisis care, bundling it with the critical transition. So Mary, right at the beginning, you decided you want to bundle all of this together. So we're going to go down to once a week. You're going to continue on that schedule of once a week for the balance of a year. And periodically along the way, you may have some ups and downs, some relapses. We're going to monitor this on a consistent basis, regardless of how you feel while you're in your life, so your body can change. Remember, as the swelling goes down, once it's stable, then it can change. We're excited to see what kind of changes that we get. And so that's what we're going to do. You're doing great. We're going to do once a week for the next 3 months. I want you to continue to take these supplements. I want you to consider doing a cleanse. I want you to do your core exercises. Here's a sheet on the core exercises. By the way, that's the core strength and stability test that you all have access to in the affiliate hub under each of the marketing campaigns, and or anything else that you recommend. If you do a technique that requires traction or whatever it is, you're going to just make those recommendations. So you're going to write in here, you're going to circle, here's where they are. You're going to circle relief and rehabilitate and regenerate. That's the goal. See, once you're stable, then it can change. So you're stable, these areas are stable. Now we're going to stay consistent so they can change. Now, what happens if they have just completed their crisis care and that's all they wanted to do initially? Well, hopefully along the way you were giving great care, you were giving adjustments, making recommendations accordingly, immersing them in your content, pointing to the continuum, showing them the tree, showing them the x-rays, talking about the nervous system, relating it to them. And so now they're at this point, but they only chose the crisis care initially. So you could say, Mary, you know what? Listen, you're doing great. You're right where we thought you would be. You have relief and you have stability. At this point, you have an option. Initially, you just wanted to do the crisis care by itself. We can either dismiss you at this time, or we can continue on through the critical transition to lifestyle care. The goal is to stay consistent regardless of how you feel so your body can change. You've done so well. It's probably a good thing to consider and do. Most of our people do that, but it's your choice. It's not covered by insurance because you're coming less frequently. The cost is less each month. We can do it any way you want to. We could set up a monthly payment plan for you if you want to, or we can set up other types of payment arrangements. You tell us, what do you want to do? Do you want to discontinue at this time, or do you want to keep on going since you're doing so well? And here's what you're going to find. At least 50% of the people that said just crisis care at the beginning are going to say, why would I stop now? I trust these people. I like it. It's what they said it was going to be. I'm in. 50% are going to continue on. 50% are going to say, you know what? I think I'm done. Let me see how well I do. I'll call you if I feel like I need to come back. Okay, just remember that if you feel like you need it, you may have waited too long, because that means the inflammation is back and it's going backwards. So think about it. Here's an article on the benefits of lifestyle care. Here's another article on performance-based care, etc. So that you plug people in and you give them the option, let them choose. If they choose to continue, you should be prepared with the options. So you show them what that critical transition would be, and you lay it out for them so they can choose. They're going to see that it's not near what it was in the beginning. Their monthly payment is going to go down. So they're going to say, you know what, I'm just going to continue. So the more prepared you are, making the assumption they're going to do it, the more people are more likely to do it. You can stick it in another folder if you want to, so you send them home, they leave it on the counter, or you can staple it with some articles, health articles, and send them home with that. But send them home with something, tools. Now, CAs, remember this conversation. Mary, you know what? Listen, congratulations. You're done with your crisis care. You have relief and stability. We're excited for you. I see you're going to continue on through the critical transition to lifestyle care. It's a great decision. We have a lot of lifestyle care patients. More and more people are choosing lifestyle care because it just makes sense. They realize they're living longer and they want to get there in style instead of rotting away. I'm excited for you. We welcome you to that part of our family. Or, you know what, CA, you'll say it this way. You'll say, hey, you know what, Dr. Jones said that you want to just, at this point, stop your care. We're excited that you got relief and stability and you had a good experience with our office. We just want you to know that you'll always be welcome. Please don't wait until you feel like you need it. It means you would have waited too long. And we look forward to seeing you back in here, maybe for a lifestyle care visit or to get back plugged into this critical transition rather than just for another crisis down the road. So thank you so much. And then you send them home with information. So again, anchors all the way through. What about the person that's right in the middle of their critical transition? Hey, Mary, you know what? Listen, you're doing great. You're right in the middle of this critical transition. You're exactly where we thought you would be. You've been consistent regardless of how you feel, so your body can change. It is changing. That's very exciting. The goal is rehabilitation and regeneration. You're doing fantastic that way. We're excited for you. So just keep on track. You're right where we thought you would be. And CAs, and then you fill this in accordingly. Continue with some extra notes. Fantastic. Put it in their file. They go home with a copy. They show their family members and friends. They continue to, see, hubby, see, I told you down the road I was going to be doing great, and I am doing great. And you know what? You still look like the tree on the left. You should come with me. And so they can fight for themselves. So very important. More mobility in all areas. And CAs, that conversation is going to happen on the phone if people say, hey, you know what, listen, I know I've been coming for 6 months. I think I'm going to take a break. Hey, Mary, you know what, listen, I hear you. I'm glad you're doing great. The doctor's glad you're doing great. And remember, you're right where we thought you would be. You have relief, you have stability, you're being consistent regardless of how you feel, so your body can change. The doctor says it's changing. Stay on the path, come in, let's do another re-exam, and let's see. And then you can bring them in for this other re-exam here if they are on the phone and wanting to discontinue. All right, so really exciting, really good. Hey, you know what? You've graduated, Mary. You're on to lifestyle care. You see where I'm circling the appropriate place on the form? You're graduating, you're moving on to lifestyle care. The goal is optimum health and peak performance levels. We're excited about that for you. So for you, based on your, remember we said way back, see, I love that, right? It's the anchor. Remember we said way back that the intensity of your lifestyle care is going to depend on the intensity of your lifestyle and the underlying health of your spine and condition of your spine. And so based on what we've seen about you, your lifestyle care, we're going to recommend once every 2 weeks. Change your supplement from this to this. And if your lifestyle intensity varies, then we'll vary the intensity of your lifestyle care. Why is that important? Lifestyle care patients will drop out. Listen carefully. They will drop out if you don't acknowledge that if their lifestyle changes and it gets more intense and they need more care, and you don't have an anchor for that, and you don't acknowledge that, and you don't change the intensity of their care to coincide with the intensity of their lifestyle, they will go somewhere else to look for a solution. We do not want them leaving. The only problem with those people is that their lifestyle intensity went up. They need more lifestyle care. Address it right in the beginning and address it right on the spot. And you will keep people engaged, and you'll see they'll get right over it really quickly just because you change their intensity to what is appropriate for their current lifestyle intensity. And then lastly, performance-based care, that's the lifestyle intensity to the max. You know what, Mary? Your lifestyle care intensity skyrocketed since you started training for that marathon. I think that for you to really do this and come out on top and healthy, we need to do your lifestyle care. It's twice a week, or once a week, or 3 times a week, at least for a little while. And so that you make the lifestyle care intensity align with their lifestyle. Listen, this is such a solid system. Don't mess it up. It's such a solid system. Don't mess it up by using too many words, 20 different systems, hodgepodging stuff together. Get your anchors in place. Use your tools. Create a consistent conversation. Surround yourself inside your practice and outside through your web and social media. Immerse people in this outside the crap box paradigm that is like a force field that is not penetrable by the outside world unless you let it. Because you will stand out, you will be strong with conviction in every single thing that you do, and attract a lot more people for lifetime care.